I hate to say I told you so. No, not really. I actually love to say I told you so. Change is coming to Meghan Markle's new Netflix series.
Meghan Markle's Netflix series was supposed to be her big comeback, but now it's turning into one of the most embarrassing PR disasters we've seen in years. From a sudden rebrand to a flood of backlash, what really went wrong?
The countdown is on. We are just 2 weeks away from Meghan Markle's new series on Netflix, With Love, Meghan, premiering March 4th. About a week ago now, the Daily Mail reported that it's not a cooking show, which is something that I guess with a complete lack of accurate information, we have discussed over, for like 6 months now. What could this be? I think ultimately we knew it was a lifestyle show, but with so many shots of her twirling around in kitchens, there was the assumption that she was going to try to cook things. I do know that she is in the kitchen for portions of the show, but she's not saying like 1 cup of sugar. So that's different. She's just entertaining, showing people how to entertain, how to make their friends feel special, which is wildly hilarious when you consider the fact that she burns more bridges than an arsonist. I wish that there was like one famous arsonist that I could compare her to, but they typically don't go down in history. They're typically not that special. So Meghan's show is coming out on March 4th, but it was initially supposed to come out January 14th, 15th. I don't remember the exact, I think it was the 15th, the exact date, but it was postponed after the fires that destroyed a huge chunk of my state. And I said to you at the time that a month and a half was a significant amount of time to postpone a show over wanting to be respectful of a crisis, right? I said, I bet they're going to edit it. I bet they are going in for edits after the horrific response to Meghan's YouTube trailer that Netflix savagely left the comments on for. Over 100,000, was it 100,000 dislikes? Hold on, let's check. Let's check in real time. Dislike count.
Today, we're breaking down the shocking last-minute changes, the explosive public response, and what this says about Meghan's crumbling media strategy. You won't believe how deep this goes. When the trailer for With Love, Meghan dropped, the internet erupted.
A view dislike count. Okay, Meghan Markle trailer. With Love trailer, Netflix. Let's check the latest. Let's check the latest numbers here. So now it does say it has 20,000 likes. That is a significant bump from the last time we looked at this. 20,000 likes, 187,000 dislikes, 90% negative, 83,000 comments. Should we look at some of the most recent comments just for giggles? Should we do it? I am still to this day wildly surprised that they left the comments on this. Are Netflix going to show in this series the pair of them in their disaster tour in California? That's exactly what we're going to talk about. If so, Netflix is repulsive and like the Harkles have no shame. Prince Harry from hero to zero. Prince Harry's downfall is a masterclass in how to squander a royal legacy, trading duty for self-pity and fame for victimhood. Once a beloved prince, now he's more like a tabloid caricature, a man perpetually aggravated, endlessly fixated on a narrative of blame. Oh my gosh. I was going to read more, and then there were 4 paragraphs. So we appreciate the enthusiasm, but I don't know if we can invest the time in that. Okay, let's see. So Meghan sincerely believed she needed to overhaul an institution that is 1,000 years old and for years has worked tirelessly to make the world a better place for all of us because she didn't have the character to join the great effort and put in the hard work without constant praise. She left it behind to pursue cakes and ice cubes. Okay, all right. There was some sarcasm there at the beginning. There was some sarcasm there at the beginning, but that commenter redeemed themselves. So yes, Meghan is releasing her new Netflix series, and according to the Express, they say that there will be changes made. And to that I say, oh, we told you so. We said that this was going to happen weeks ago. The title is Meghan Markle Makes Major Change to Netflix Show After Backlash Weeks Before Launch. And then the little tease says Meghan Markle's new Netflix show was due to drop in January, but it was put on hold after LA's wildfires. And it seems the show has now been changed as a result, which, I mean, I I think it's probably for selfish reasons. I think she wants to be like, oh, look, I'm helping. I promise I'm so helpful. Um, but I also think from Netflix point of view, there were a lot of comments that we've read on previous videos that were really critical of Meghan for wearing thousands of dollars worth of clothing and jewelry in someone else's mansion in Montecito, freezing flowers and ice cubes. It looked so shallow from a woman that claimed she was stepping down from the royal family to pursue a life of service. It just looked so irrelevant and unnecessary. And you can follow TikTok accounts that have a way smaller budget, and you might get even more creativity from some of these people than you're going to get clearly from Netflix, Meghan's Netflix series, because people have already done the comparison side by side where these projects that she's doing on the show have already been done before by other people in the past. So let's jump back to the Express article. It says the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, caused quite a stir among royal enthusiasts. Let me just stress that royal enthusiasts are not feeling stirred by Meghan Markle.
Instead of excitement, it sparked outrage. Over 187,000 dislikes flooded in. Comments called it out of touch, performative, and downright cringeworthy. And remember, YouTube doesn't even show dislikes publicly anymore. Viewers actually use browser extensions just to downvote it. That's how bad the reaction was.
When she made her Instagram come back over, the Meghan Markle fans are excited about Meghan Markle's Instagram, but not royal enthusiasts. Here's my issue. If you say you love the British royal family, then I will not tolerate you pandering to Harry and Meghan, because Harry and Meghan have been nothing but hateful towards the British royal family over the last 5 years. I do have people in my world that will say that they love the royal family, but then chase after Harry and Meghan. And I'm like, then you don't love the royal family. Where is your loyalty whatsoever? Harry and Meghan have been nothing but nasty to the actual working royals. And I hate when they're like, royal fans say, no, if you are a fan of the royal family, then you do not care about Meghan Markle on Instagram, and you do not follow Meghan Markle on Instagram. You don't care. The Duchess of Sussex caused quite a stir among royal enthusiasts when she made her Instagram comeback over the new year. Remember when she posted that video frolicking on the beach hours after a terror attack in New Orleans? Because I'll never forget. Meghan, who inked a multi-year contract with the streaming giant along with Prince Harry in 2020, is making a return to the lifestyle genre with an 8-part series. The show, titled With Love, Meghan, will see her delve into hosting and entertaining tips, aided by a host of celebrity friends, some of which I know some of you have never heard of, because some of you have reached out to me and asked me, who are these people? And when I say some of you, I mean people that are paid to do this for a living messaged me privately and said, who are these people? And I had to give them the 411, which it was brief, though, because it's not like Angelina Jolie or Nicole Kidman or Reese Witherspoon are in the kitchen with Meghan, let's be honest. Originally slated for a January release, the launch was postponed due to the devastating wildfires that ravaged the LA area, Meghan's childhood home. Those fires were not near Meghan's childhood home, by the way. Obviously, their fact checker was taking a nap when this was published. In a statement, Meghan expressed gratitude towards Netflix for supporting the decision to delay the launch, stating, I'm thankful to my partners at Netflix for supporting me in delaying the launch as we focus on the needs of those impacted by the wildfires in my home state of California. Translation: the reaction to the trailer was so horrific. This is the perfect opportunity to postpone the show so that we could make last minute tweaks, so that hopefully less people will say we are so not, out of touch is a good way to describe the trailer. A lot of people were like, this is so not the real world. Instead of promoting her new venture, which marks a return to her pre-royal life, she ran a popular lifestyle blog called The Tig, covering wellness, food, and travel. Meghan has been actively involved in aiding those displaced or rendered homeless by the catastrophic fires with Billie Eilish t-shirts. Okay. Who wrote this? I have strong feelings about this person. A groundbreaking shift in content is on the horizon for an upcoming series as a new report reveals plans to spotlight the humanitarian efforts aiding displaced communities, a stark pivot from the show's initial vision of transforming the mundane into the magnificent. It is understood the show is being edited to include Meghan's philanthropic work around the fires, which included visiting victims in Altadena, California. Yet, despite her commendable actions, Meghan has not been immune to criticism. Some have scrutinized her involvement in wildfire relief, prompting one royal commentator to note the paradox that both she and Harry face, saying that they are damned if they do, damned if they don't.
But why did this lifestyle show rub people the wrong way? It wasn't just the opulence. It was the timing, the tone, and Meghan's track record. So what's the verdict? Viewers aren't buying the rebrand. Comments call it tone-deaf, exploitative, and disingenuous. And if this was Meghan's big Netflix redemption arc, it's not working.
Yeah, I just think that they lack any sort of authenticity whatsoever. And they have fallen on their faces so hard and repeatedly. So now anytime they do choose to do something good and right and kind, it's such a contradiction to what we've seen from them over the last few years, tearing into the royal family on Oprah, Netflix, and Spare, that it's instinctually we feel like it is just them trying to change public perception, that it's just a PR opportunity. It's not sincere, it's not authentic, and we reject it, you know? So sorry, but it's going to take more than a Netflix series that will not be, without a doubt, her Netflix series will not be able to compete with the original Netflix series, because according to people that have seen the show, Harry is barely in this series. This will not be able to compete with Harry and Meghan, the original Netflix series. People tune in for Harry. They don't tune in for Meghan. So this show will struggle to compete with Prince Harry, period. The show with Prince Harry, period. So there's no way that this show is going to make a dent in public perception when it comes to Meghan. It's not going to have as many eyeballs. And for the most part, people have made up their minds about Harry and Meghan. So I guess my point in this video is, we told you that this was going to happen, didn't we? We said a month and a half is it's an awfully long time to postpone a show. They're going to go back in and make edits because they did not like the fiercely negative reaction to the trailer. Eater, some really serious outlets, media outlets that are completely unrelated to the royal world, were highly critical of the trailer. People commenting on the way she was holding knives. I mean, she got a lot of negative reaction to that initial trailer launch. And I think that it was all just the perfect opportunity to go in and make some changes to try to appear more relatable. In the meantime, let's check out some of my favorite comments on the article itself. Here's one that says the biggest PR issue with this couple is their unwillingness to choose and stay in the lane. Their behavior has always been schizophrenic, part celebrity and part philanthropy. That clearly has not worked. Harry is the philanthropist and finds comfort there. Meghan wants celebrity and finds satisfaction there. Okay, fine. We don't know what the original TV show was about, but it sounded as though it jibed with Meghan's interests. Now, it sounds as though it too will split between entertainment and philanthropy. Recipe for another failure.
So, from delayed launches to desperate edits, Meghan Markle's Netflix disaster isn't just a bad trailer, it's a cautionary tale in celebrity branding gone wrong. And if Hollywood keeps underestimating its audience, this won't be the last flop we see. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was this a PR pivot or just bad timing? And if you like this breakdown, give it a like and share it with a friend who follows royal drama. Until next time, stay sharp, stay skeptical.